Hi, I just wanted to put a note up top. In this video, it's going to be heavily edited because the original version of this video got taken down by UMG. So there's going to be moments in the video where I throw the footage. The footage is going to be much shorter and probably have no sound because I don't want to get flagged again. I'm really risking my channel putting this up again, but I really want to get this video out to y'all. So I'm going to try and make it so it can't get claimed. There's no copyright anything in there. Unfortunately, this is what I gotta do because Drake is suing UMG and named a bunch of reactors in the lawsuit. So now YouTube is coming down harder on reactors as well as UMG trying to buy up independent distribution services to make it even more restrictive. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there talking about this. I recommend Cliff Beats or Top Music Attorney. They both have good breakdowns about this, but I just want to get that up front. And now please enjoy the original video, heavily edited, but as originally shot in May. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the Devil's Advocate, and I talk movies, TV, music, all kinds of pop culture, video games on this channel. Next week, maybe I'll do an unboxing for the Switch 2 if I can get my hands on one. But today, I want to talk about my experience going to see Kendrick Lamar and SZA live at Metlife Stadium. It was so much fun. We saw it about 2-3 weeks ago for my birthday, and first of all, I didn't know Metlife Stadium was outside. I don't know why I didn't think about this, but literally me and my missus were having breakfast, brunch outside, and one of my friends walked by and we said hello, and he said, "What are you guys doing today?" And we said, "We're going to see Kendrick Lamar at MetLife Stadium." And he was like, "Oh man, I hope it doesn't rain." And I'm like, "Yeah, definitely." "Honey, what's that mean?" Because I did not realize MetLife was outside. I thought it was going to be like Madison Square Garden where there's a roof, or even a football stadium where they have a roof that comes up. But I did not think that it was outside. But it was. And so that was a new thing to reckon with. And it did rain, actually. But not too bad. Just drizzled for a little while. But we left here. And I'm going to splice in some videos and some pictures from the concert throughout this video. We left... I live in Manhattan, and we left about at 3:30 to get there, and we got there at 5. Got seated. First of all, forgot that you can't bring any kind of backpack that's not clear and see-through. So Mrs. had to go back to the car and drop it off and come back to the entrance. But warning for anyone watching this who is going to go to the concert: do not bring a backpack unless it is a see-through clear. And I think they do that because they're worried about, violence. But when we were getting our food and our drinks, they would take the top off of the bottle and yeah, we can't give you the cap because you might throw that too. And I'm like, what the hell? But then I realized they thought we were going in downstairs on the ground floor. Because when we went upstairs to actually go to our seats, there were plenty of vendors selling food and stuff, not taking people's bottle caps. So we should have just waited to go upstairs. We got a lot of t-shirts. I got this sweet Gloria one. Look at the back. Check out the back. It's got the tour dates. There was a mustard shirt and another GNX shirt I got. Got my girl the same GNX shirt, and then a SZA shirt, and got my friend Kiara, who couldn't make it, a mustard shirt and this shirt. Lots of merch. Costed me way too much money, but it was worth it for the experience. So we get our food. We each get a hot dog because we're like, we're going to be here for a long time. So let's eat and then we'll go sit down in our seats. So we sit in like a stairwell and we eat. We, get our bearings a little bit. And then we go up to the third story to sit to get our seats. Now, I always forget that I'm afraid of heights until I go up someplace high. So we're going into the corridor to like make the turn to go up to our seats. And as we're walking out, I'm like, oh shit. Oh fuck. And then we're going up the stairs and I am just literally rattling all curses like Joe Pesci in Home Alone. Like, rocket fracking, motherfucking goddamn it.
What? What happened?
And I'm so terrified. My girl has never seen me like this. So she starts laughing because she thinks I'm being funny. She's like, quiet down. Like, you're making a scene. And she doesn't realize I'm actually having a panic attack. So when we get up to the seats and I'm like sitting back here, I'm going to put a picture on screen. We took a picture of ourselves. And I'm smiling in it, but if you'll notice, my shoulder is up. And that is because both of my arms are holding onto the seats on either side of me, just clutching them for dear life, for fear that I might fall down the steps. So that lasted about 2 hours. Now, it said the concert starts at 7. Now, of course, I am a movie goer. My girl is much more versed in going to concerts. When I go to a movie and it says that movie starts at like 5:30, I know that if I get there right at 5:30, I'm going to see some ads, like some trailers, and then go into the movie. When you go to a concert, there is preamble, there is setting up, there is an opening act that has to come out, and then there is setting up in between acts, and then the main person. So it says it starts at 7. DJ Mustard comes out and does a set, which is awesome. He was great. Trying to hype up the crowd, get us ready. And that was about 7:15 that happened. And my girl's like, Kendrick's probably not coming out until like 8. And it's 5. Again, we get into our seats at like 5:30. So we have about 3 hours to wait until Kendrick starts. But it gives me time to acclimate and to not be so goddamn terrified. And like I said, DJ Mustard came out and he did a set. Maybe that was a little earlier, around like 6 something into 7. But it started drizzling then. And I think they needed to sweep off the stage. So they had people come out with big mops sweeping it up, and it was still raining. So we're like, are they gonna cancel it? Are they just gonna come out and it's all wet? Like, what's happening? But thankfully it stopped raining, and by about 8:30 or so, the real show started. So Kendrick comes out. He does whacked out murals. It's awesome. Here's some footage of that. Then he does, I believe he goes right into Squabble Up. And here's some footage of that. And then it's a mash. And they do this really interesting thing where they broke down the whole show into acts. And there were 9 acts. And they switched. So it would be Kendrick comes out, he does, a few songs, and then they switch to SZA, and she comes out and does some songs. And I'm going to try and put some images on screen here. But they did this really interesting thing where Kendrick, his aesthetic was like very much the black and white footage that he's been using for the GNX album. And like the teaser and the music video for Luther, like that industrial cementy area, like that was his whole aesthetic. And then when SZA came out, it would like overgrow with vines and green, and the car would be overgrown with vines and green, and there's like bug imagery and swamp and nature, and so it's got this cool balance of like kind of industrial, clean, sleek, and natural beauty and green. And she was pretty much dressed like Poison Ivy, and she did great. Here's some footage of SZA doing great. So yeah, the set list was crazy, and it was very long. It went all the way to like 11:30. But man, so worth it. We sat there. I mean, again, we sat there basically from like 5:30 till almost midnight. We got home at like 1 o'clock. But man, we just couldn't stop watching concert footage when we got home. It was a blast. So they're switching back and forth doing songs. They got pyrotechnics shooting out the top of the stage, and you could, and from even where we were sitting, you could feel the heat of the fire. It was absolutely nuts. The whole stadium was rumbling, which brought up a new fear after I had just got over my fear of heights. Now I'm feeling the whole stadium move, especially on things like Squabble Up and like Euphoria and like heavy beats. Hey Now. Here's some footage of Hey Now. And then, and so I was like, oh no, we're going to end up on the news. There's going to be a story about how Kendrick Lamar rocked the stadium so hard that it collapsed and all these people died, and we're going to be some of those people who died. Meanwhile, I didn't know this until afterwards, but my fiance was having an existential crisis because we're nearby Newark Airport, and how there have been so many plane crashes now that idiot Trump is in office and fired all the air traffic controllers. So she was worried a plane was going to hit the stadium, just crash in the middle, and we'd be up and end up on the news. So we both had our own little panic attacks, but the music and the vibes helped keep us enjoying ourselves. There was a lot of people there. It wasn't sold out. Like, I could still see little spots of seats. So if you're watching this and you really want to go to the concert, look in your local area. There might still be seats available. You did Euphoria, which was awesome. Here's footage of Euphoria. They did, and of course they did Not Like Us at the end. And that's when we left, because we were looking at the set list and we were trying to get out to the parking lot before it got swarmed by people. But evidently a lot of other people had the same idea we did, since Not Like Us was like close to the end. It was literally right before they were gonna do Luther and Gloria together, because like the whole show, again, they're switching back and forth. It's Kendrick, it's SZA, it's Kendrick, it's SZA. They came together and did a couple songs, and did the handoff, but at the end they came together to do Luther and Gloria. But those we heard as we were going down the escalators. So we left basically like in the middle of Not Like Us, just to make it into the stadium to go down the escalator. But we could still see through and see the stage actually a lot better than we could up top, where they were very tiny. But it was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna put footage here of stuff I didn't put earlier in this video. And there you have it. That was my experience going to Kendrick Lamar. We had a amazing time. I can't believe I've only been a fan. I will say this. I've only been a fan for like a year. Okay? I've liked Kendrick Lamar. I remember hearing his name bandied about as like he's a great rapper. He's one of the new generation. And I remember liking the song Swimming Pools. And that's where this all began. If you've watched any of my Kendrick Lamar reactions, you will know that many years ago, probably like 2013, 14, or maybe even earlier, I was watching Saturday Night Live, and it was a time in my life where I'd watch Saturday Night Live and actually watch the musical guests. For it was a long time where I would skip musical guests. I would flip the channel, I'd watch something else because I did not give a shit about new music. But a wild hair got up my ass and I said, you know what? Let me check out who the new people are. And so I just leave the musical guests on, at least for one song. If the one song I didn't like, I would mute the other performance, but I checked it out. And this time, it was Kendrick Lamar, and he did the song Swimming Pools. And I had heard Swimming Pools around. I'd heard it in bars and at parties. I was like, okay, this is another, like, let's get drunk song, yay, yay, yay. But actually watching the performance on Saturday Night Live and hearing the lyrics and hearing that it's actually about alcoholism and how there's a lot of voices telling you take another shot and have a party and it's going to be fun, but what does it actually do to my life and how does it make me feel? And I'm like, God damn, there's a rapper talking about real shit? There's a rapper making a song actually about something? How novel, how interesting. So ever since then, I gave Kendrick Lamar respect. I said, okay, most new music is garbage, but there is that guy Kendrick Lamar making them real songs like Swimming Pools, and I hope he goes far. And boy, oh boy, did he. Like, I cannot believe that just a year ago today, as of recording this, May 28th, I was not paying attention to Kendrick Lamar. I knew that the beef had happened. It was a vague thing that went down a couple months ago. But right now, I'm just kind of looking forward to... I don't even know if Eminem's Houdini had come out yet. But right now, I'm past birthdays. I'm looking forward to the summer. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know that in a couple weeks, about a week, actually... actually, no. Eminem's thing came out in July. So about a month from now, last year, I would be hyped for a new Eminem album. I would listen to it. I'd actually buy it. Then I'd be recommended the Not Like Us music video on YouTube. And I'd watch that and be enamored and fascinated and watch all these music reactors and learn about them. And like No Life Shack and Screwface Jean and Loyalty 101 and all these great creators. This whole new world of YouTube opened up. And this whole new world of music opened up. And my journey in exploring different rappers and rap groups and the history of it and watching documentaries. Shout out FT Signifier and Rap Latte and Potty Mouth Podcast. Like, it has been a journey, and I'm still going on this journey. So I maybe no longer will put Rap Newbie in my titles going forward, but I am still going to make album reviews. The next one that I want to make is Outkast, because I never listened to their albums. I listened to their songs. I remember their songs coming out and doing well, but I never dove deep and listened to the albums. And with as much respect as I've heard Andre 3000 get from all over the culture, I need to know why. So I want to listen to those albums. So maybe sometime soon, one of the Outkast, the first Outkast album will be coming to the channel. I also wanted to take this time to say, if you're still watching this, thank you. Thank you very much for watching. I now have 100 subscribers on my YouTube, which is a lot for me. Okay, I have had this YouTube since high school and haven't really done much with it. And only in the past, since October, since I made my Joker 2 review, have I really started like putting effort into YouTube and making videos and also getting over my perfectionist ways. Where I'm like, well, this isn't a perfect review. I kind of rambled here. I kind of didn't make the point I wanted to make. It's okay. Record another piece or just put it out anyway or address it in another thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Make stuff. I encourage y'all to make stuff. Thank you for 100 subscribers. Make stuff. And if you make stuff, you might get lucky like me and be contacted and be asked to be part of a larger network of creators. On June 10th, this space launches, and this space is going to be a group of various different creators, some more political than others, some more pop culture than others, but it's a live stream that goes for 3 days straight, and it's like television programming. At this hour, it's this person. At this hour, it's this person. It's this hour, it's this person. On the first day, on June 10th, I'll be live on this space at 5 o'clock. So follow this space on YouTube, and Blue Sky and Twitter and everywhere. And thank you once again for 100 subscribers. It's been very fun making videos. I'm very happy to be making videos again and having fun with it. You know, I am a video editor professionally, and it's hard to convince yourself on your day off to to shoot a video and edit it for fun when you do that for work every day. But I'm glad I found my spark again, and I have my fiance to thank, but I have all of you to thank too, because even when a video gets 2-3 views, that's still 2-3 more than I thought it would get. So I really appreciate, anyone watching this, and let me know what you thought. Have you been watching Kendrick Lamar's videos on YouTube? I've seen people post like whole sets from the crowd. I saw people post from the show that we were at, but they were in the crowd, on the ground. So getting that perspective was very interesting. And what other albums would you like me to cover? I don't have to do just rap either. I'm interested in metal, rock music. I'm going to see Weird Al in July, who is my absolute number one favorite musician of all time. And that's actually why I'm growing out my hair. And before I go see the show, I'm going to shave my entire beard and just have a mustache, because that's Weird Al's look from the 80s, and I got to honor the main man. So if you see videos like that where I have just a mustache, that's why in the future. I don't know what else to say. I love y'all. Thank you so much for watching. And I will catch you in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe.